You may be getting a bit of a deja vu here. Uh, so we would like to present our leading company, which is Light Entertainment, which is a entertainment-based VLC company. We come from a multidisciplinary team, an international team that has expertise in technology and finance, in business. So we think we really have a fantastic team to be able to work on the product, to develop the product, to work with manufacturers, and then to be able to move our products to sale. So what is the product? So we really want to shine a light on the toy market. We think that the toy market, although good and expansive, is missing a really core ingredient, which is the technology that we have, which is visible light communication. And really, why do we think this? Well, we think that VLC has huge potential in the commercial market. We can imagine toys, theme parks, industry applications in producing media. And in this case, VLC is the novelty, VLC is the excitement. I know myself, when I learned about VLC, how excited I was to realize that we can actually send information with light. The examples on the right, which is a little bit of preliminary research that was undertaken by Disney Research, show some of the applications that we can actually send information using light, this really fantastic method and medium of transferring information that will allow for new experiences for users. So we think that our proposal is to develop a VLC system that can integrate into consumer toys. What we want our company to be is similar to probably what Volkswagen is as a company. We want to be able to develop our own products, like Volkswagen makes cars, but they also develop the wheelbase that they sell to other manufacturers. So we think that the product here is to develop a system that allows for visible light communication in the commercial and toy market. We can then develop our own toys that we can sell to retailers and to consumers. And we can also work with existing IP. So we feel that this provides a really unique experience to consumers. There is something really magical about having a torch or a light or a wand that you can shine on a toy, and the toy will start to interact, the toy will start to engage. So we think there's a really magical experience for consumers to be had. So like I said, we can produce standalone toys with the technology. We can develop a system, go to a manufacturer to produce a toy and sell it to retail. But we also think that this has huge potential to be sold to other IP. You can imagine working with companies like Lego or Warner Brothers Studio, integrating it into a theme park. So there are a lot of applications where we think that light adds this really crucial, really nice element to the toy. In terms of our business plan, we think that the key partners, there are two really fundamental key partners. We think that those are manufacturers. So our business model is split into two parts. We think that primarily and at the start, we want to develop systems. So we will independently develop our VLC toy system that we can take to manufacturers and produce a simple product, a simple, effective, cheap product that we can then sell to retailers. We also want collaborations with IP. There is a huge market of toys already available, and I think it would be naive of us to believe that we can create toys that might rival Disney or Warner Brothers at the initial stage. So we can work with these companies. If we have good technology that's able to easily integrate into their toys, we think that we can work with them to produce huge market appeal, or potentially be acquired later on if one of those companies finds the technology particularly interesting. In terms of the activities, it is then fundamentally to design the VLC system, the front end, to be able to develop the hardware and the software needed to produce this, to integrate this device into the toys and into the products. This has to be cheap enough for us to be able to reach market potential and full market penetration. And we're also going to be discussing with retailers, with current IP and manufacturers, to be able to really penetrate the market. Some of the key resources, well, we're going to have to develop the VLC, the front end system. So we need to think about designing a VLC chip. Can we use existing microcontrollers, or do we need to develop our own proprietary systems? We think that photodiodes are going to be the way to do this. So some of the startups that we won't mention have looked at a smartphone-based solution, but we feel that this has the potential to invade privacy if we're integrating cameras into children's toys. So we think a system that takes children away from their smartphones, that allows them to play with toys that use photodiodes, that are not going to collect data and not going to track the children, we think would be really a sellable point to the consumer. Obviously, our resources, our team is core to this. We discussed the team before. We think we have the expertise, and we think that that is our key resource of the people that we have in the company. And as we grow, we're going to look into sales, admin, and marketing, and also look into the copyright issues. Of course, Disney has done some proprietary work in the research, so we need to look into what has already been done, and what patents have already been created. And of course, actually, as we develop this this device and this technology, Disney has yet to move this to the market. So if we do get there before Disney, we think that we have huge potential to move past them and move past the research that they've done. In terms of the cost structure of our organization, there are going to be fixed and variable costs. Our fixed costs are going to be things like physical equipment and software, things that our initial output will take. Moving on from that, we're then going to have variable costs, R&D, the salaries of the people that work in the business, and also contracting manufacturers. If we have developed a product and we want this product to be produced, we're not going to do that in-house. We'll go to a third-party manufacturer. And of course, there are going to be operational costs and also legal costs when we think about patenting and creating IP of our own company. So really, what is the value of this? We want to create systems that allow information transfer between some sort of wand, something that you can hold in your hand, and a toy. This then allows you to interact in the toy in a really unique way that has yet been really unseen by the community and the community of consumers. We think this provides the unique experience to the consumers because they can use something that they can actually see, which is the light. They can shine this torch on a toy and it interacts. It provides a fantastic way for them to really experience VLC in the way that we all feel that passion for the technology. And we can also provide innovation for other companies. So when we look around the market, no one has yet produced a technology or a toy that integrates VLC into it. So we can think about these companies, like I mentioned, Lego, or going to like Warner Brothers Studios and looking at their theme parks. How can we integrate the technology into that? Customer relations. Well, the customers depend really on where our business goes. We think at first we're going to be selling to retailers and then to individual customers. So we're going to be thinking about how we can make sure and guarantee the customers that they have a good, solid product. So we think about things like warranty and also support features. But the good thing about the product is that we don't have long-term, we don't need to provide updates. We don't have to update the smartphone app. We don't have to worry about legality around data collection of the app. So we're selling a product that has a clear revenue from the sale of the asset. And then we can let the consumer go about their business. But also in the future, we can start to develop new and integrated products that may integrate those other revenue streams. In terms of the customers, so at the start we're thinking children, but also actually the teenage market I think would be really interesting. So this could be integrated, as some of our competitors have said, into augmented reality. Even into drones, you can imagine shining a light at small robots that can move around, or small drones to be able to direct them and send commands to them. So I think really the technology not only can be integrated into dolls that you can shine a wand at and it can interact, but also into new things and really cool things like drones and augmented reality. So it has huge mass market appeal. In terms of the channels where we want to sell the product, we think that obviously at first, if we develop a product that we can sell, we want to talk to retailers and look at advertisement, online selling. There's a huge market there that we can start to penetrate. But we also think then that we can think about working with current manufacturers and current IP to be able to use their supply lanes more effectively. If we develop an IP like that wheelbase from Volkswagen that we can sell to other companies, that will be a much easier way for us to run our company in the long term. So then looking at the revenue stream, we have two things. It's fundamentally assets and IP sale. The assets are the things that we're producing. We're producing standalone toys that integrate this technology. And we can take that backbone of the technology and sell it to or license it out to other companies for use with their IP. Or we can use their IP to further the market appeal of our toys. And that's our presentation. Thank you very much.